Before we can understand what the Caduceus is, we must first understand what it is not. Look closely at the symbols adorning American hospitals, ambulances, and medical insurance companies. You will often see a winged staff with two serpents coiled around it in a symmetrical embrace. This is the Caduceus. For millions, it is the unquestioned emblem of medicine, and it is a profound mistake. This is a story of mistaken identity, an error so pervasive it has been etched into the public consciousness. The true, ancient, and authentic symbol of healing is a far humbler object, the rod of Asclepius. It features a single serpent entwined around a simple, rough-hewn staff. This is the staff of Asclepius, the Greek demigod of medicine, whose knowledge of the healing arts was said to be so great he could raise the dead. The single snake shedding its skin represents rebirth, rejuvenation, and the restorative power of healing. The Caduceus, by contrast, belongs to an entirely different god, with an entirely different domain. It is the staff of Hermes, the Greek, or Mercury, the Roman, the swift-footed messenger of the gods. How did a symbol of commerce and communication become the face of American healthcare? The error can be traced to a single, influential decision made in 1902 by a US Army Medical Corps officer. He chose the more aesthetically pleasing and symmetrical Caduceus to adorn the uniforms of his corps, likely conflating it with the rod of Asclepius. From the might of the US military, the symbol spread into the commercial healthcare industry, where its association with Hermes, the god of commerce, was perhaps unintentionally appropriate. While the rest of the world's medical organizations, including the World Health Organization, correctly use the single-snaked rod of Asclepius, the Caduceus remains the great imposter in American medicine. But to dismiss the Caduceus as a mere mistake is to ignore its own potent and ancient story. To find its true meaning, we must leave the sterile halls of the hospital and travel to the bustling marketplace, the windswept crossroads, and the shadowy threshold between worlds. For this symbol holds a power far different from healing. It holds the key to communication, transition, and balance itself. We must meet its true master. Our journey through the veil of myth lands us not in a place of healing, but of exchange. Here, at the bustling crossroads of commerce and communication, we meet the true owner of the winged staff, Hermes. Known to the Romans as the equally swift Mercury, his realm was not the quiet sick room, but the noisy, dynamic world of transaction, travel, and transition. To truly understand his mark, the Caduceus, we must deconstruct it. The staff itself is a herald's rod, a symbol of divine authority and immunity. The bearer could pass through any territory, even across battlefields, without fear of harm. Their message, sacrosanct. The wings at its crown are the most direct clue. They are the icon of pure speed, the swiftness of thought, of word, and of travel itself, allowing Hermes to move between the mortal world and the divine realm of Olympus in the blink of an eye. And the two serpents? They are not symbols of healing here. They represent negotiation, diplomacy, and balance. Imagine two opposing forces, a buyer and a seller, two warring factions, two separate worlds, brought together in a state of dynamic, peaceful equilibrium, forever bound around the central truth of the deal. But Hermes' role as a guide extended to the most profound journey of all. He was a psychopomp, a conductor of souls, using the Caduceus to ensure safe passage for the dead from the world of the living to the finality of the underworld. So, the Caduceus is not a mark of medicine. It is the ultimate emblem of the go-between, the messenger, the merchant, the negotiator, the guide, a master symbol of passage and balanced exchange. And yet, the image of two intertwined serpents on a staff is far, far older than the Greeks themselves.
The stone takes us back, not centuries, but millennia.
To find the serpent's earliest secret, we must leave the marble temples of Greece and journey east to the sun-scorched plains of Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Here, among the Sumerians, etched onto ancient clay cylinder seals, we find a symbol that echoes through time. A staff, with two serpents coiled around it in perfect symmetry. This was not the mark of Hermes. This belonged to a much older, more mysterious deity, Ningishzida. Lord of the good tree, guardian of the threshold, Ningishzida was a Sumerian god of the underworld, a divine gatekeeper between the realms of the living and the dead. And yet, like Asclepius to come, he was also invoked in rituals of healing. His symbol, carved into stone and clay 2,000 years before the first Greek myths were ever written, was the staff of the twin serpents. This reveals a profound truth. The Caduceus is not an invention, but an inheritance. A powerful archetype that has surfaced again and again in human consciousness, representing a fundamental principle of balance, passage, and hidden power.
To see this symbol as just a historical object is to see only the map and not the territory it describes. The true secret of the Caduceus is that it is not a staff of the gods. It is a diagram of the human soul. This was the great secret of the alchemists. To them, the Caduceus was a formula for transformation. The two serpents were not mere reptiles, but the twin forces of the cosmos personified. The sun and the moon, sulfur and mercury, the fixed and the volatile, the masculine and the feminine. Their sacred dance around the central staff represented the great work, the union of opposites within the alchemist's own being to create gold, not the metal, but the incorruptible gold of an enlightened spirit. The wings, then, were not for flight, but for ascension. This ancient blueprint is not confined to the West. Journey to the East, and you find the same map in the traditions of Hindu yoga. Here, the central staff is the human spine, the Sushumna. The two serpents are the twin energy channels, Ida and Pingala, lunar and solar, feminine and masculine, coiling up the spinal column. When these two energies are balanced and unified, a divine serpent fire known as Kundalini rises through the central channel, activating the chakras and culminating in enlightenment at the crown of the head. A state of divine consciousness, symbolized by wings. The Caduceus, then, is a key, passed down through the ages, a universal map of human potential.
hidden in plain sight. So we return from the inner cosmos with the key in hand. We now know the Caduceus for what it is, not a symbol of healing, but the mark of the messenger, the emblem of exchange, the balance of negotiation. And if you look closely, you will see its true meaning has not been forgotten. It is hidden in plain sight, not on the walls of hospitals, but in the logos of commerce and communication. You will find it in the emblems of printers, logistics companies, and global trade organizations. All industries that rely on the swift, balanced flow of goods and information. The true domain of Hermes. But its most profound modern home is invisible. Think of the world today, a planet bound by a seamless, instantaneous network of data. A world where messages cross continents in the blink of an eye, where digital commerce never sleeps, and where code acts as the ultimate negotiator between systems. What better symbol for this age than the ancient staff of the messenger god? The Caduceus is the perfect, accidental icon for the internet itself, an ancient mark for our modern, hyper-connected world. Detunes reality. Transmission complete.